That's nice.
Hey, what's up, socialites? Welcome back to the Social Studies Podcast with me, Joe Dombrowski.
And me, Gaspare Randazzo, with COVID.
He's got that cocoa.
But if you look at my background, after being on so those of you who listen weekly know that a few weeks ago I was on Tommy Bracco from Big Brother's podcast, and I went to his studio and he had a white wall behind him. And I was like, Tommy, I love this wall. And I came home and I tiled my wall.
He didn't tile his wall. He used the tiles.
I wallpaper tiled my wall.
Yeah.
And I
Come over here acting like you're a goddamn mason.
With my COVID, well, let's do the dates and then I'll tell you about the COVID.
Today, I'm going to be at the Hollywood Improv. Tomorrow, I'm going to be at the Comedy Store. Wednesday, I'm going to be at Ice House Pasadena. Thursday, Aladdin Theater in Portland. Friday, the Vogue Theater Vancouver. Saturday, the Moore Theater Seattle. Then I'm going to be in Milwaukee, Appleton, San Francisco, Fort Wayne, Providence, Timonium, Maryland, Spokane, Salt Lake City, Vegas, Dania Beach, D.C., Calgary, Carlson, which is Rochester, Pittsburgh, and Denver. Get your tickets at thejoedombrowski.com.
And I will be in Rochester, Queens, New York City, Bridgeport, Connecticut, Phoenix, Arizona, San Diego, Poughkeepsie, New Brunswick, Hershey Park, Chicago, Long Island, Tampa, Staten Island. Oh, that kind of works.
You're going back to Tampa?
I am.
Same club?
Same club, July 25th. I guess it's sold all right.
He wastes no time.
Yeah.
I didn't tell you 6 months. 6 months, and then you play it again?
I only did one night.
Yeah, well, and now you're doing a weekend? He gave you a weekend?
No, it's just another one night.
That's all right. Good for you. I love that.
I like him a lot, the owner there, so I don't care.
Ryan, yeah, he's great.
So, and I did really well when I was there last time, so I'm hoping that some of those people come back. Also, I'm doing...
What's going on in New York that you got the cocoa?
Wait, I will tell you one other thing. I'm doing this show in Staten Island again, so they wanted to do it at the baseball stadium again, where I did it. Now, last time I did it at the baseball stadium was really cool, but I didn't love it because the fans were too far away. Like everybody was like up in the stadium and I was on the field. So I was like, I'll do it, but like not in that same situation. So now, like, now that you're a big sports fan, you know how like sports at like arenas and stuff, they have like concourses, like areas where there's food, where there's things like that. They're setting it up there now. Completely irrelevant, but it's not on the field. So I'm excited. So
crazy.
Also, Joe, I can't believe how into the Detroit Lions you got last weekend.
I know. Do you like my straight costume?
It's nice.
I've been wearing this all week. Gaspar, I have to tell you too, and I was very into it. For the Lions to make it that like in the championship,
to not kick a field goal.
Like we were like, it was the most fascinating thing to even watch. And even in the pregame, they had this hilarious skit where it was like San Francisco fans versus Detroit fans. And San Francisco, they were like, if we lose, this is the end of the world. And Detroit was like, if we lose, this is still the best fucking day of my life. And like, it really was like that. Like,
yeah, I mean,
it was unbelievable.
I was actually rooting hard for Detroit, mainly for your mom, but also just like in general, because like as a Jet fan, it was like, wow, the Detroit Lions are perpetual losers, just like the Jets. So if they went to Super Bowl, that means one day I could go to a Super Bowl. But it was sad. I watch every game pretty much no matter what. But I was like super into it. It was great.
Yeah, it was wild. I was fully, it almost happened too, which was
it really should have. The coach made a bad decision, but whatever.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Anyway.
So what's going on with New York? I don't know, but a lot of people have COVID again. I'm not going to lie. Like, I had COVID once before, but it was like super mild, basically nothing.
Did you lose your taste and smell this time?
No, but I have no appetite. And for me,
is that like not a modern COVID thing anymore? Are people still losing their taste?
I don't know, but this COVID, like last time I had a headache. This time I am so tired. You know, I talked to you this morning. Like, I am so tired that it's like painful how tired I am. Like I was driving my kids to school and I literally couldn't even keep my eyes open. Like that's how tired I feel. Other than
Yeah.
that, I have a headache. I'm really, really stuffy. But like other than that, I feel fine. Like once my kids get home, I'm with them. Like I redid my backdrop in my office by putting up the foam wall tiles.
Yeah.
I
This is
feel all
honestly,
right.
this is an exhilarating conversation. I do love talking about your illness, but I do have some other things that I need to get off my chest with you. First of all, I think this is the last episode of the podcast.
Why today?
Football is to Gaspar as RuPaul's Drag Race is to Joe, and Gaspar was somehow featured on Trixie Mattel's YouTube channel, and I lost my fucking mind.
Wait, so do you know Trixie from RuPaul? She's a RuPaul friend.
A RuPaul friend.
Is she a member of the RuPaul crew?
She was on her own season 7, then came back for All Stars and won All Stars, actually.
Okay, so
and
which one is Trixie? The tall
Trixie
one?
with the big, big blonde hair. Yeah.
And then the other one, the older one, Mattel?
No, Trixie Mattel is one person. The other one in that video was Tammy Brown.
Yeah,
who's a little kooky, crazy.
Yeah, but she was fun. I liked her.
Tammy Brown has some of the funnest lines ever. So Trixie, fun fact about Trixie, I actually was a fan of Trixie before she was ever on Drag Race. And then when she got on, before the season even premiered, she had a show in Detroit. And I was chit-chatting with her. And then I saw her at the show and she's like, oh, hey, Joe, what's up? Blah, 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 blah.
She does stand-up?
No, she was doing a drag show.
Okay.
And then I blew up, and like a few years later, I was living in Chicago, and she literally had just won All Stars, and it was the next day. And she turned the corner, and she was like, hey, Joe. And I was like, what? Like, you remember me? Like, you're so fucking incredibly famous now. She's like, oh, I saw you're like doing comedy like on a bigger scale now, and blah, 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 blah. And I was like,
yeah,
this
cool.
is wild. And I wonder if I like ran into her, should be like, hey, or not. Let's see.
How long ago was that?
God, 9 years ago.
Oh, damn.
Probably.
All right, but you guys kind of run in like similar.
When I first ran into her 9 years ago, I would say maybe.
But like you guys are kind of in like similar maybe like circles where like your stuff might pop up on her. You know what I mean?
Comedy and drag are so similar. It's crazy. Like they have bookings, they like get on lineups. Like there's a whole hierarchy to like get where you want to be and where you got to go and the hours that you work and how much you got to dedicate to it. Like it's alarmingly similar.
Huh. Now, okay. When I was on Trixie, yeah, I was on Trixie's whatever podcast. I forgot the name of it. And so I watched it. It was pretty funny. They watched The Trust, but like in fast forward, and they just like broke down parts and like they like abused us, but like not real. Yes and no. They were funny.
They liked you. They said they would be into you if you were just a little taller,
a foot taller, a foot.
And they call you Gaspar.
And then she said, we should call him Jaspar because Jasper is a secret word for lesbian. Back in the day, she said that they used to call people Jaspers, which were lesbians. It was like a slang term for lesbian. So they would say like, oh, the Jaspers are here.
Can I tell you something?
Like, what?
You're going to regret telling me this.
Why?
I will probably only call you Jasper from now.
the down low lesbian.
Yeah, that's great. But yeah, that happened. So like, what has life been like since all of this? We were a week out of the premiere. It aired a week ago today. And you're following skyrocketing. What's going on?
I'm at like 117,000 followers now. I was at 101 when the show came out. So in 3 weeks, I gained like 16,000 followers, which is pretty cool. It's not about, you know what it is that's weird? Not weird, like cool. is like, you ever watch A Good Place? I can't think
Yes.
of the lady's name. The one who plays Tanya, Giselle. She's a comedian. I can't think of her name. Jamila Jamil.
Oh, yes, of course.
She's huge. Yeah, I couldn't think of her name. So like, it's weird, like, because like people like her, right, who have like millions and millions of followers and these huge platforms are like posting on their Instagram story, like loving the trust right now. Like Gaspar has me in stitches. And it's like, oh, like that's so weird that like you even know who I am, Like,
Yeah.
and granted, it'll fade away and it'll like anything else, like it's relevant today and in a week I'll probably, the next Netflix show will come out.
So
And
how are the reviews? Like, how's everything going?
yeah, I mean, I think there's going to be a season 2. It did pretty well. It stayed in the top 10 the whole time it was on the air. But that's the part that's cool, is like the people who all of a sudden are like reaching out and they're just like, hey, saw you on the trust. And it's like, whoa, like, you know who I am? Like that part. And it's not just like America. It's like, hey, we love you in Brazil. We love you in India. We love you in
That's
Portugal.
crazy.
And it's like, huh. And like, what's been cool too is like, my audience is primarily teachers. So like when I go to a school, yeah, everybody's like, oh shit, you're that teacher who does stuff, But like now all of a sudden, like I could be somewhere that's nothing to do with school related, nothing to do with parent related. And all of a sudden, like people be like, oh shit, like you're the guy from the trust.
Is
and
that
I'm like,
happening?
oh yeah, quite a few times, which is pretty cool. Cause like, it's just cool to be noticed, like for not just like teacher comedy. So like that part's fun. And then I think the most fun part for me is like people just want to know like the ins and outs of like reality TV and like what happens behind the cameras and like what they don't see. And to me, that's like,
yeah,
like
that's fine.
To me, I think like that part's more fun because it's like, it's so hard, as we've talked about this, like, people came after me. Oh, okay. You voted off somebody, you're a bad guy to one group. Then you vote off somebody else, you're a good guy to one. Like, so it's interesting, like explaining it the real way, like that I've done just to you. Like, like not even for the
most
podcast.
Fascinating part is calling you or talking to you as I'm watching it and you being like, no, that.
Yeah.
I was like,
whoa. You didn't see it all. And I can't explain it to everybody who just listens to the podcast, unfortunately, because like Netflix might kill me.
Do you agree with the editing?
I love Netflix.
I can only imagine how difficult it is to take literally 24 hours of footage and narrow that down to 45 minutes. I feel like we could have made any editing choice and someone's going to be pissed about it. You know what I mean?
Ready? Let's just do the math. Let's say we were up for 18 hours of filming because we didn't sleep.
And not only that, Gaspar, we're talking per camera too.
So wait, so 18 times 24, that's how many days were there. That's 432 hours of footage, right? Now, there's 11 of us. Let's just say we're always in a conversation at least with 2 people, right? So now you have to times that by 5 because you have at least 5 different conversations going on. So now you have 2,160 hours of footage. Times that by 60 minutes. Now you have 130,000 minutes of footage. There was 8 episodes that were 42 minutes each. So you're talking about less than 6.5 hours of film broken down. So like,
it's like things had to get cut. Like the important things had to get cut.
And like, what's crazy to me is like, like there was so many times where people were like, oh, like that story was so funny. Like, I can't, like people on the cast will be like, I can't believe they didn't include that story. I'm like, yeah, it was funny, but like, it didn't make sense. Like, you know what I mean? Like, here's just a standalone story that Gaspar's telling.
I did have one question for you that I never asked. You know that scene where you're talking to the guys and that girl is like lurking around in the bushes and shit. How real was that? Was she really just fucking lurking around
It
you?
was even more real than they showed.
Shut up.
Because she was first just
I
casually.
love how you go, I'm just going to point.
She first just casually kept walking by our chair. And like, she wasn't like in trying to talk. And then like, she was like by bushes leaning in. Then she was like in the pool, like putting her head up. And it was bad. It was really, and it went, don't forget, once again, TV magic. It went on for about an hour. It cut, the scenes cut down into 45 seconds. But like,
yeah.
It was an hour long scene. And that's why like a lot of people are like, we were so shocked you voted out Lindsay. And I'm like, we weren't shocked. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
We like, that's one of those where like the edit didn't really do full justice. Cause like, it was like, no, this is what we need to do. Like same thing. Like when people message me online, they're like, F you, like you shouldn't have voted out Lindsay. Like you don't even know Tolu. And I'm like,
well, that's the thing too, Gaspar, is everybody is somebody's favorite in reality TV.
Of course. No, but what I'm saying is like people will say to me straight up, like, why'd you vote out Lindsay? Like Tolu was a bitch. Like you didn't recognize that. And I'm like, no, I lived with Tolu for 30 days. You don't recognize in the 12 minutes of footage that you're seeing that she's not what they're portraying fully. You know what I mean? Like, trust me, the person who knows her.
Yeah.
Not you, the person.
So what's the wildest message you've received?
Well, someone did tell me that they were going to spit in my face if they ever saw me in person because I voted out Lindsay. And like they like their profile pretty much had a lot of SWAT stickers on it.
Oh shit.
So they told me they would spit in my face. So I sent them I took a page out of your book, Joe. I sent them my tour schedule with my website. And then I said, but just know there's a 2-drink minimum for any club you go to. But then my brother called me and was like, take that down right now, because this is the type of psychopath who will travel to the club to make sure he spits in your face because you instigated. And I was like,
the other day, fucking, I watched another episode of Dateline that was all sorts of corrupt. And it was these fucking, just these pieces of shit who literally are getting away with it again, right? So then I go and I'm running my mouth on story and I'm literally like, and this person's a piece of shit and your day's coming and just wait and I hope you rot in jail like the rest of your family. And Morgan comes in the room and he goes, stop recording. And I'm like, okay. And he goes, you are talking to millions of people about people who have literally killed other people. Are you fucking crazy? And I was like, Morgan, honestly, I don't know why I'm just putting this together right now, but you're so right.
Yeah, you're right. These people could kill me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
And it wasn't Dateline. It was 48 Hours or something. It was a different show. It wasn't Dateline at all.
But that's the thing. Like you said, everybody is somebody's favorite character. So like, no matter who you eliminate, no matter what you do, someone's going to be mad at you. You know what I mean? Like there are people who pretty much came at, like there are people, I guess I could say this because I think he even posted about this. Like there are people who, there are people who, the Cowboy Brian, that Brian said that people have been messaging him like they're mad that he said
about
like he likes
birds of a feather.
No, that he, two things. One, like that he likes
meat,
grilling steaks. People were like, I'll fucking see you in hell. And two, about not accepting the offer. He got death threats about not accepting the $30,000 on the cliff when he said my integrity's not for sale, because people were like, you're a piece of shit. If you really cared about your family, you would have accepted this, but you don't care about your family. You're a horrible person. You cared more about strangers than your own family. And like, now I want you dead. Like, people are fucking sick. Like,
that is insane.
But like, I love Brian, but Brian was straight up in the Reddit comments writing back novels to people who were like, we love Brian, we love Brian, we love Brian. And then there's this one comment that's like, Brian, you're a piece of shit. Like, Brian, you're a piece of shit. And he's like, I'm going to have to correct you there. I don't know what you're basing this off of. I'm like, Brian, stop responding to these fucking people. And like, but he's so genuinely nice that he's like someone wrote like, Gaspare sucks. He wrote them a whole thing. I can tell you after spending a month with Gaspare that he is a stand-up individual. I'm like, Brian, I don't care what these people think. Like they're hiding behind a Reddit emoji picture. Like, I don't care. And also, like, now that I won the money, which we didn't even get yet, but some guy messaged me and he's like, yo, you're the like the boss of the trust. And I'm like, oh, thanks. He's like, loved you on the trust, man. You were great. I'm like, thank you so much. He's like, super nice guy, super genuine. I'm like, cool, thanks. He's like, can I ask you for a favor? So I thought he was going to be like, can you follow me back? Because like, that's something people say. And he was like, yo, I'm kind of hard up on cash right now. I'm taking I'm driving, I'm moving 3 states and I'm hard up on cash. Can you PayPal me $40 and I'll send it back to you? I promise I'm good for it. So I just wrote back, number one, like, I don't even know you. Number two, I didn't write that, but I don't, what? Like, I just was like, what? So I'm like, sorry, no. I was like, look, I got a family. I got kids. Like, I don't have money to just give to random people. So he's like, yo, I completely respect that. I understand. Then 20 minutes later, this guy must have sat with this for 20 minutes. He's like, by the way, you're a piece of shit. You're a greedy scumbag. I'm going to go let everybody know how selfish you are. And I'm like, all right, cool. Like,
what the hell? You know what you should have told him? You should have told him that you had a great way that he could save money. And honestly, you can save money if you have a super hectic schedule by using Green Chef, America's #1 meal kit for eating clean. Every week, choose over 80 flavor-packed meal options that get delivered right to your door. No standing in line at the grocery store, no wasting time prepping ingredients. Everything is sent to you and ready to cook. Easily customize your meals to suit your lifestyle with preferences like keto or plant-friendly or Mediterranean, calorie smart, quick and easy, protein packed, gluten-free. The options are endless. And they have a brand new gut and brain health meal options to kick things up a notch. Listen, Gaspare and I both used Green Chef, and I was going to use a word that's not supposed to be in an advertisement. We love it. That's it. No adjective needed. We just love it. And we want you to use it too. Green Chef is the first CCOF certified organic meal kit company with recipes featuring organic fruits and vegetables and organic cage-free eggs. Save time in the kitchen and eat well with Green Chef. You can go to greenchef.com/60 social studies and use code 60 social studies to get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. That's greenchef.com/60 social studies and use code 60 social studies for 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. Talk about that, huh? Yes.
Gap.
Now you go ahead.
No. Sorry, I'm choking.
Fine. While you choke, I'll get into it. I've always wanted to just get right into the email since it is an email-only episode. This one's titled...
We got to get one of those horns. Wait, just let me tell you something real quick.
Ezra, put in those sound effects.
I was on a podcast, and literally, I was
tell it to us dramatically.
So I was on this podcast, and while I was on it, the woman said to me, she's like, how did it feel? Oh, now it's gone. She was like, how did it feel winning that money? And I was like, well, when I won the money, and then she just played like, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. But like, it was so loud and unnecessary. And I was like, are we done? Like, you want me to tell you how it felt? Or are you going to just fucking cha-ching me?
Maternity leave the building. Hi, Joe and Gas. First, Joe, I loved seeing you in Madison, Wisconsin twice. You're amazing. Can I tell you something really quick? A quick pause on this one. I was in Lexington, Kentucky.
We're doing real good on this email.
Yeah, we're doing. Loved it. I had fans in the meet and greet who were like, are you going to this bar? Are you going to this bar? I'm like, yeah, maybe, I decided at the end of the night, I was having a good time with my openers. Do you guys want to go? They're like, sure, we'll go. We go to the bar. We're having a drink. These fans who said it are at the bar. They're like, holy shit, you're here. I'm like, what's up? Hang out with them for a good amount of time. They're cool people. We're all having a good time. And then they were super respectful, let me hang out with my friends, and then like went on their certain way. Then they come back before they leave. The girl is crying. The guy is composed, but something's not the same. Okay. And they go, hey, we just want to let you know that your biggest fan would have been here tonight, and this all would have meant the world to him. He was our roommate, and he died recently, and he was your absolute biggest fan. And they're like, tonight was unreal, like seeing you perform and laughing so hard, and then being here and meeting you and all of it. They're like, it just was supposed to happen. And they're like, and it means so much to us. And I was just put in my place, and I was like, yeah, we're jokey, laughy, fun people or whatever, but like, it means a lot to people to like laugh and let loose. And I was like, God, I fucking love this. I'm so proud of like what we do, you know? And I was like, damn, those people found a good night to like come out and have a good time after going through all this super, super hard shit. I was like, that's rough. That's rough.
Yeah.
Good time.
Nice.
Okay, sorry, I brought it down. No,
Wait, you want me to bring it down more?
Oh, fuck. Sure.
No, but this is like, it's just an interesting story, and you'll like it.
And then we'll bring it up with the email.
Because you're from Detroit, and I want everybody to know this because this is a good story. So
he's going to fuck around. I can see it. Are you
no.
around?
This, I swear to God, it's true. So my dad was a huge, huge Alice Cooper fan. I think I might have told you this, but I don't know if I ever said it on the podcast. My dad was a huge.
You did.
I told you.
Just me.
All right. Well, but it is an interesting story.
Yeah, tell the story. It is a good story. Do you have it?
I have the video, yeah, but I also, hold on. So my dad was a huge Alice Cooper fan. You know, Alice Cooper sings "School's Out for Summer," whatever, if you don't know who Alice Cooper is. So my dad and I saw Alice Cooper live, I'm going to say like 15 times. My dad probably saw him live like 30 times in his lifetime. So when my dad got sick with cancer, he bought tickets for September, I'm going to say like September 18th, whatever. But it was like July at the time. And he was like, I'm going to go see Alice Cooper. Like they already told him, like he doesn't have a lot of time left. But he's like, I'm going to make it my goal to get to Alice Cooper at the end of this summer. So my dad, big fan of Alice Cooper and whatever. So then as like the month went on, by August, he was like super, super sick, couldn't leave the house, in hospice. We knew he wasn't going to go to the concert. So my brother had just like, was like, you know what? I'm just curious if I could find something. My brother went online and typed in like Alice Cooper's assistant, right? This guy comes up. My brother sends him an email. Hey, my dad's a huge fan. My dad's license plate on his car used to be A. Cooper. That's how big of a fan my dad was of him. So he said, my dad was a huge fan of yours, really sick right now. You know, unfortunately, he has tickets to see you, but we don't know if he's going to make it. Okay. My assistant sends back. I'll play it. It's only 50 seconds so this will make anybody, if you're not an Alice Cooper fan, this will make you an Alice Cooper fan without a doubt. So Alice Cooper could have easily just ignored this because it's Alice Cooper and no one would be like, wow, Alice Cooper ignored my email. But so just preface in case you're new here, my dad died from 9/11 related cancer. So he was a police officer. He was retired. He went down after 9/11 and he helped.
Can I ask, was it mesothelioma?
No.
It wasn't. Okay.
It was called GIST. GIST. It was like very rare. They linked it to like a lot of people were helping down at 9/11. So Alice Cooper sent back this video.
Hey, Gaspar, Alice Cooper here. Well, your son got in touch with us and told us about the situation that you're in. And of course, we feel really bad about it. And it's really amazing that 9/11 is still hurting people. I wish you could come to the concert. We're going to dedicate the show to you that night. And I want you to know, even if you can't make it, we'll be thinking about you. And I want you to know also that we'll be praying for you. And hopefully the next time we come into town, you'll be there. Never count yourself out, okay? And I would love to meet you. And you got a great son for letting me know about this. Hopefully, I'll see you soon. All right?
And like,
whoa.
Like, look
I am
where
like
he
fucking
is.
about to
Like,
let it out.
He's like in his podcast studio. Clearly, like, so like the thing is, so unfortunately, my dad died the day before the concert. My dad died. He died on a
Did you
Thursday.
see the video?
Concert. What? He
Did you
did see the video. He sent it to everybody he knew. You know, he was excited about the video, and it did give him like, we actually think it gave him like a few more extra days to like fight for. So my dad died the day before. He died on a Thursday. The concert was on a Friday. My sister and I actually went to the concert because we felt like it was like, this would like very rock and roll of my dad to like experience a death and then go to a concert. You know what I mean? Like it was kind of like cathartic. No, I don't know the word, but you know, it was like for us, like just to be there, it was like pretty cool. But like this just goes to show like the impact that you have on that guy. Like Alice Cooper, this took 1 minute out of his day. Forever,
so
I will
rad,
always, I will always rave about Alice Cooper, even if he was the worst musician ever. You're Alice Cooper. You're a multi platinum millionaire, all that stuff, and you took time out of your day to do that. So it just goes to show you that like there are good people, and like, you know, I'm a piece of shit because I didn't let that guy borrow $40, but like there are good people, and just think about it like from your perspective, like what you meant to that person, you know? And now like those people will never forget you being at the bar. They will tell people, we hung out with Joe Dombrowski after, you know, ex-friend passed away. And, you know, like that will be like your legacy that will go on forever, which is really cool.
Well, I mean,
but it's the truth. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
Alice Cooper made an active decision to do that for your dad. I was just going to have a few drinks. Like I wasn't like,
yes, but at
friend
the end
died
of the day,
and I'm going.
But at the end of the day, you hung out with them and you gave them your time.
It's the little things that make it. I see
like you could have easily went there and just ignored them
and been like, hey, and been an asshole. Yeah. That is, that is incredible.
My mother-in-law,
you have that memory with
my mother-in-law and father-in-law were at a bar and they took a shot. They were taking shots and Van Halen was in the bar. They ended up talking to Van Halen just by chance. And Van Halen was like, you guys are pretty cool. We're going to be in Long Island next month. We'll leave tickets for you at Will Call if you want to go. So they were like, yeah, cool, sure. Didn't think anything of it. This is 1975, you know? They were like, let's just go see if they left the tickets. Who knows? They went and Van Halen left tickets at Will Call for them. They remembered
just general
them.
Tickets, not backstage passes or anything.
No, but still, it was
that's fucking
dude,
great.
The fact that you met someone,
I was just curious. I wasn't saying
but like they just met them in a bar and were like, yeah, leave these tickets for them.
I love
that's
that.
Pretty nuts.
I do love that. That's pretty great. I do have to say that did kind of like choke me up about Alice Cooper and your dad, and I'm actually like so happy that your family has that. That's such a cool. That like I can't wait till Gaspare and Lucy are old enough to like watch that video and understand it. Like that is so fucking rad. That's
meanwhile, my
awesome.
son just broke my heart today because we were playing Would You Rather at dinner, and I'm like, would you rather have a time machine that could go in the past or in the future? And he goes, I would say the past. This way I could hang out with Grandpa again.
Oh,
I was
fuck!
like,
did you just? I gotta go.
Kid.
Were you like, I gotta leave?
He does, but he's very connected to my dad always. Like he'll always make comments like that. Like he's like, "Can I have a hug? Because I miss Grandpa." I'm like, "Yeah, bud." I was like, "I miss him too." I was like, "Why are you saying that?" He's like, "I don't know. I just miss him." It's crazy.
Wow, that's wild. Dude, we have to... Sorry, we can't get through this fucking email, everybody. The girl who wrote this email is probably like, just fucking read it!
All right, anyway, we're sorry. We're done with our emotional stuff.
One last thing.
Yes. Oh, no, we're not.
I still want to do an episode where you and I go do a past life regression. Yeah,
I'm down. We should do it in person, but when am I ever
That's what I'm saying.
Again? At your wedding?
I was just talking to Morgan. I was like, Morgan, I don't think I'm going to be in the same room with Gas until my fucking wedding. Would you have... I almost asked you to do a show with me recently, but I was like, he's not going to fucking do it.
It depends. I would. I would do it purely just to hang out.
All I fucking want. Still gonna pay you. Still gonna hang out. I know it's beneath you at this point.
No,
but I
nothing
just
is beneath
want
me ever.
to like. Do we not have so much goddamn fun? Like
We
it's
do.
so
That's
fun.
like
That's the worst
I'm
part.
gonna. Yeah, I mean, but you know what it is? Like, I was even looking at your tour and I was just like, oh, we ever going to be near? But we're like always in opposite. Like,
I
even when you're
know.
on the East Coast, I'm on the West Coast. It's like,
Right.
yeah.
Right. Could you imagine if we just like ran into each other at the airport one day and then we had to like leave?
Well,
It'd be like,
I'm sure we
fuck.
would know, considering we pretty much know each other's schedules.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
All right,
For
email.
real, here's an email. Maternity leave the building. Hi, Joe and Gas. First of all, loves Joe seeing you in Madison, Wisconsin twice. You're amazing. My muggle husband came with me the second time because he loves the podcast too and thinks you guys are hilarious. We can't wait to take a day trip to Chicago to see Gaspar in May.
Oh,
The
thank
Den.
you.
That's dope. I've got a wild one for you. I'm a principal of a pre-K through 8th grade school.
Ooh, I'm already
our
excited
middle-
that she's a principal and going to be at my show because those are the ones I abuse the most.
And our middle schoolers study diversity of life in science. The students study cockroaches. I'm out. I'm out.
Is this going to be like hissing cockroaches situation?
Let's see. I can't. Oh, fuck. I'm just looking through this email. The word cockroach is in here a million bajillion times.
All right, well, let me hear
Study
it.
cockroaches as part of the unit, and some were shipped to us from this company. I know you love cockroaches, Joe, so buckle up. We've got about 15 of them and set up their habitats for observation. Oh, God, I'm already... The habitats are basically clear buckets with air holes on top. On about the third day, my science teacher got to school and discovered some small, wiggly critters on the table where the roach habitats were. She looks more closely and sees more of these things crawling around in and on the container. Turns out one of the cockroaches
I should have read this because clearly this isn't for you.
One of the oh, God. Fuck. Oh, shit. This is so bad. This is so bad.
Continue.
One of the cockroaches they shipped us was pregnant and gave birth overnight.
Oh, cockroaches could get pregnant?
A few of the babies escaped out of the air holes, and I was worried that we were about to have a big problem on our hands. Oh, God. I would have left. I would have left. I'm sorry, I can't get out over this email. A big problem on her hands. I felt gross thinking that one of the nymphs. Fuck, yes.
What is happening? What's a nymph? The new?
I don't fully know, but the fact that she used the word nymph instead of like amateur cockroaches is making my stomach flip.
But what's an amateur cockroach? That's even more
Nymph
fucking
is
weird.
like
This sounds like
teenage phase.
No,
It goes egg, larva, nymph, adult, and just the fact that she used the word nymph instead is literally gonna make me lose my lunch. You're about to see what I had for dinner.
wait a
One
second.
of the nymphs would be
Nymph
crawling
is a
around our
cockroach
school.
term?
No, nymph is like an insect term. It's like
I
when you're
understand.
in between larva and adult. It's
I feel
nymph.
like we're talking about weird cockroach porn right now.
It's not cockroach,
Amateur,
Jasper.
nymph.
It's the nymph phase. It goes egg, larva, nymph.
When do they
sometimes
become a hardcore
pupa,
cockroach?
adult. That's their
Pupa?
adult phase.
Pupa.
Pupa. Sometimes pupa is when you're like make like a cocoon and you're a pupa and then you emerge as an adult. Gaspar, did you fucking learn science? Jesus Christ.
I don't remember anything about the pupas, the amateur cockroaching, the amateur cocks, the pupa cocks.
Could
All
be
right,
crawling
get your
around their
nymph.
school. We
So
sealed
I'm
up the
so
air holes.
confused. Also, one more thing. When a cockroach is pregnant, does she give birth to eggs?
Yes.
And then the eggs hatch?
Into larva, and then they turn into a nymph, and then they're an adult.
All right. I hate this story, but go ahead.
We sealed up the air
Continue,
holes with
'cause Chicago-
styrofoam just in case any cockroaches had been continuing to get frisky. Two more. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck.
Do they have sex, the cockroaches? Are they asexual?
This is terrible. I can't believe I chose this. Why didn't I read this first? 2 more sets of babies were born during the students' study of them.
How many babies
teachers
come out at
avoided
once?
that hallway for a week or so and were constantly checking around for wiggling nymphs.
Gotta get those wiggly nymphs.
Don't you ever
don't do the amateurs.
We sure got them all, though. Needless to say, I learned way more than I wanted to about cockroach reproduction. And I'm not sure we'll be studying live cockroach. Is that not the most principal ass fucking sentence, Gaspar? Needless to say, I learned way more than I wanted to about cockroach reproduction, and I'm sure that we will not be studying live cockroaches next year.
I have so many questions.
Thanks for the laughs every week. You two are a treat to listen to. And Gaspar, congrats on winning the trust. You played a great game. I loved watching you. Please, dear God, don't use my name.
Thank you very much. Okay,
God damn.
here's my question.
Hey, please.
It's cockroach related. Can
we move on? I honestly feel sick.
No, I'm just so how long is the cockroach pregnant? This actually forget
Do you
cockroaches.
have Google, Gaspar? Jesus Christ.
Forget cockroaches. All right, this is a dumb question. Do ants have sex?
They must.
Getting on the Google.
How many bees tall is it?
Do they sleep? Holy shoot. I didn't even think of that.
Holy shoot, everybody.
The female queen ants will fly a long distance during which they will mate with at least one winged male from another nest.
Honestly, we have to move on.
He transfers sperm to the seminal receptacle of the queen, and then he dies. Once mated, the queen will attempt to find a suitable area to start a colony. Once found, she will detach her wings.
Why are you reading this like Lord of the Rings? Jesus Christ. No.
The male has to die. Hold on.
A lot of creatures die after sex.
2 ants. Well, I'd be alive for a long time if that was the case.
You're so dumb.
Do ants sleep? They sure do. That's what it says. The amount of sleep that they need varies.
We need a show. You and I need to just like tour science centers around the world.
They sleep for how long you think they sleep?
An hour. A year.
9 hours a day. The queen
ants?
The queen ant sleeps for an average of 9 hours a day. The busy worker ants, on the other hand, get their rest by taking hundreds of short power naps a day.
Oh, Gaspar, I can't keep doing this. Like, I'm literally going to throw up all over you.
They take approximately 250 naps a day. What is he doing? He's just walking around. He's like, I'm up. And he just keeps anting. Think about it. You're just walking. And I'm good. Like, I wonder. I'm blown away right now.
My dog sleeps a lot.
Yeah, but your dog's spoiled as hell because Rocky didn't sleep that much. Rocky was a guard dog.
Rocky had to live on edge at all times of the day, okay? Like, Jesus. I literally, poor fucking Rocky.
All right. In the ground. All right, next email, because we should read an email.
We just did. Okay, you want to read another one?
Go ahead. You want me to pull one up?
This one's called Stories for Tomorrow and Etc. You guys crack me up. New Patreon member here. Hey!
Thank you very much.
You guys, you can support us by becoming Patreon members at patreon.com/the Social Studies Podcast. It's real cheap. Okay? You can do it. And listen, you get tons of free bonus content there. Free bonus content.
We got a live Zoom coming up soon.
We got a live Zoom coming out soon. We got lots of behind the scenes footage where I ask Gaspar shit about the trust that he cannot say publicly. You're going to want to go over there and watch it. Trust, pun intended. We got more bonus footage. We got a bonus episode coming out for you this week just because we like doing it. So that'll be there by the time you're listening to this. And patreon.com/the Social Studies Podcast. And for everyone who's a Patreon fan, thank you. It means a lot to us that you keep us on the air.
Yes,
anyway,
thank you very much.
I'm a SPED teacher. For those of you who don't know, that's special ed. And I've caught 95%. Oh, I think she meant, co-taught. I've co-taught 95% of my 16-year career with all kinds of people who say all kinds of things to me. I'm an Enneagram 9, so I think that's why this works for me. So last night, trapped in my kid's room at midnight because he woke up and I'm holding hands through the crib bars, all I'm thinking about is what type of co-teachers the cast of The Trust would be and the various shit that they would say. Then started thinking about celebrities and the shit that they would say to their co-teacher. Maybe this wouldn't be a good podcast discussion. I don't know, but it entertained my brain for a while waiting for my kid to fall asleep. Here's some. Gaspar, last night I had a great idea about how to get kids to remember Upton Sinclair's The Jungle's impact on society. If you wear this and roll with it, I think that the kids would really remember. Hands you a dirty apron with ketchup stains, and you do it because he's just so damn likable. Mama J, hey dear, do you have a second to help me with my smart board? I don't know why they call them that. I just think it's a dumb board. Then proceeds to pretend to listen when you show her how to sync her smart board to her computer for the 5th time this month. Julie pulls you aside right before class. Hey, if Sarah seems off or starts crying about something in class, it's because I heard that she got dumped by Derek at the football game last night, and the kids are all talking about it. And personally, I think her and Evan were a better couple. Oh my God, this woman is spot on with this shit. I didn't know what she was doing at first.
Yeah, you got to send me. I got to go on and I'm going to send this to the whole cast.
Jake teaches high school government. He says, hey, here's a packet for the week for your textbook work. Feel free to change it however you kids need to change it. Then just let me know what grades to give them. Sits on his computer for the rest of period and expecting to talk to the football players. Joe doesn't say any words to you during class in front of the kids, but by the number of crazy expressions he's throwing you during, you know damn well that his discussions is going to be the shit talk of happy hour, and it's going to be very fun. That's a good one. These are great. Those are just a few that I had. Maybe you guys can come up with some better ones of what celebrities were say if they were teachers. Also, another time, I'll send you another story that I have about a thermometer. That's hilarious. This cracked me up. Good job.
So I actually got that question a lot. Like, who would you want to co-teach the most with out of the trust? And I thought that was like a funny question. Like, if you had to pick one person to co-teach with. So, like, obviously, I would probably say Brian, just because we got along the best. And he'd be like the easiest to just be like, Brian, stop. Like, stop them. Like, he would just
you
stare
guys
at
would
them.
run 4-H together or something.
Well, he would have like the lasso on his belt. And any kid who's getting rowdy, he would just have to show it to them, and they could just tie him up.
Jesus Christ!
But it is funny. I did get that question a lot. Or like people ask, like, what would each member of the trust teach if they were to teach?
Right.
You know, I was like, that was a good question too.
That's a good question. We can talk more about this on Patreon. That'd probably be a good way to do it. Let's do it.
I agree.
The rest of this over at Patreon, patreon.com/the Social Studies Podcast. Hey, you guys, thanks for listening to the Social Studies Podcast. Again, you can get your tickets to see me on the road at thejoedombrowski.com.
And you could get tickets to see me at gasparrandazzo.com.
Hey, you guys are fantastic. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye, guys.